The 5 mistakes that addicts and alcoholics make in early recovery. The first one is the substitution. So if an alcoholic has stopped drinking, at some point, because when we stop the thing that we take all the time, or we're binging with or whatever, when we stop that, the body starts to feel as though there's something missing. So what happens in the mind of an alcoholic and a drug addict is we tell ourselves. So an alcoholic would maybe say, well, the doctors gave me Librium or Valium or whatever. I'm going to just take an extra few. So rather than sticking to the prescribed medication, the alcoholic will take more, or some alcoholics end up smoking dope. It's funny, most alcoholics relapse with drugs and most drug addicts relapse with alcohol. It's just the way it is. But with the alcoholic, so the alcoholic takes more Valium or more sleeping tablets or whatever, or starts smoking cannabis. But before you know it, it takes them back to drinking. It's the same with a drug addict. A drug addict thinks when they get clean, sometimes, not always, but these are the mistakes they can make. Oh, drink wasn't my problem. I'm going to have a wee drink. So they have a wee drink, but what happens is, through the process of that, it takes them back to using their drug of choice. So that's the first mistake that addicts and alcoholics can make, substitution. Also as well, substituting, and a drug addict can substitute, or I was a cocaine addict. Sleeping tablets wasn't really my thing. My doctors gave me them to help me. I'm going to take 6 tonight, I'm going to take 2 tonight, I'm going to take 4 tonight, I'm going to just take them all, whatever, yeah. And things like alcoholics could say it was spirits, vodka and whiskey and all that. It was my problem. That stuff was really heavy. That made me what I was. So I'm going to have beer, I'm going to have wine, I'm going to have a gentler, softer thing. So this substitution, yeah, this is one of the pitfalls for addicts in early recovery. Number 2, addicts and alcoholics in early recovery try to do too much, and it takes them back to using, to drinking. So they try to cover all bases because of the guilt that they feel, because they justify to themselves how terrible a person they were because they were a drug addict or an alcoholic. I've done it, that's how I know. So they try and do everything, sort the relationship out, sort the job out, sort the children out, sort the da-da-da-da-da, and ruin it all. And because of the amount of pressure they put themselves under, they end up using, they end up relapsing. So take it easy. Take it easy. If you can stay clean, get to a meeting or a day programme or something else that you're doing to help you. Everything else is a bonus after that. You don't need to do so much. Number 3 is a biggie. Number 3 is what some of us call relation slips. Relationships with others. Now, sometimes addicts and alcoholics haven't been in relationships for long times when they get clean and sober. Some of them have, but what happens is they're in this wee cocoon with the drugs and the alcohol, but take the drugs and alcohol away from that person and they start to waken up. The sex instinct comes back into play. They start to be attracted to folk. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's the most human thing on earth to be attracted to somebody, but it's one of the worst things that we can do in early recovery because we don't have anything to give another human being. We're just no got it. But some of us look for some validation, for some company, sex, all the things that people do, just the normal things that people do. But the bottom line is that you've really no got it to give. And then when you go into it and feelings start to happen, as we know in all relationships, and then we start getting this and that ideas, before we know it, it's too much for us and we need to take a drink or a drug because that's how we feel. We're backs against the wall and it's like we've nowhere to go. This feelings and emotions at this relationship. So relationships is number 3. Number 4, addicts and alcoholics in early recovery think that they can do it themselves. They just think they don't need anybody. Do you know what I mean? So what they do is, they're called, some of them are called clean and crazy. That's what I've heard it being called before. The work stays the same, the relationship stays the same, the children, the job, the hobbies, it all stays the same. And they try and do all that without the thing that they had to keep them going, their crutch. They don't have their crutch anymore. And they actually think that they can do all this stuff themselves, but none of us can do it ourselves. There's not an addict and alcoholic that I know in this world that has ever said to me, oh, I just went away somewhere and done it myself and I've been great since, and that's me now 10 years clean and sober. We all need somebody. We need to have somebody, but that's one of the pitfalls for alcoholics and addicts. Now, the last one, number 5, is addicts and alcoholics can start to think, this is not working for me. They start to tell themselves in their own mind, this is no good. I'm not doing something right. This doesn't feel right. Do you know what I mean? They jump out too quick. They go back to using and drinking too quick. See, if you're clean and you're sober and you're an alcoholic and a drug addict, you better believe me when I say it's working. Keep doing what you're doing. Eventually it gets easier. Just give yourself a break. So that's my top 5 things that I see are pitfalls for people in early recovery. I hope that's helped a wee bit for somebody on here. Thank you.